What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the AI Marketing Navigator. This is your daily compass in the ever-evolving world of AI marketing. Today's topic is one I am sure you are familiar with if you've had any practical experience with digital marketing or in the digital marketing world, and that is personalization. Personalization is far from a new concept in marketing, that's for sure. Even before the digital age, businesses would personalize their marketing efforts for a variety of channels and in a variety of ways. For example, handwritten letters. Businesses would send handwritten letters to valued customers, and these letters often included personal touches, such as addressing the recipient by name. And as you probably know, there's a lot of first name personalization going on in the email marketing world, which we'll talk about. And they reference previous purchases or interactions that the customers had. All of this is being replicated digitally now. Um, Loyalty programs are another example of like a pre-digital form of personalization where customers can get punch cards or membership cards or personalized shopping experiences and things like that. um, and there's a variety of other sort of personalization experiences in the pre-digital uh, era. For instance, a sales pitch in general would be often very personalized when a traveling salesperson would meet either with executives or potential clients. Obviously, their pitch would include a lot of personalized information and details to make that client feel attended to and special. um, Direct to mail campaigns are another great example and another example of a marketing tactic that still goes on today and is also making a bit of a comeback in some markets. Businesses would use direct mail, and these campaigns often included obviously the recipient's name or information about past purchases or known interests that that person might have. Um, and of course, in the digital age, personalization has exploded as marketers have gained access to tools that allowed us and them to include even more detail in our personalized content to our customers or our prospects. Uh, and so began like the era of, like I said, throwing that customer's first name in the subject line of an email and calling it personalized, or putting their name or their city in the header of a landing page or something like that that has been specifically designed for them. A/B testing endless variations, using spreadsheets, and eventually losing track of which tests were testing which variables, and et cetera, et cetera. And it's not necessarily that these small personalizations like first names and A/B testing a couple things at a time were not effective. In fact, they definitely were effective, and that's why they were used and still are being used. And frankly, that's why, just like everything else in marketing, we can't have any nice things, and it's been used to death in a lot of ways. Kind of the plug and place, personalized copy and stuff in emails and on websites. Personalizing things like those subject lines and that email copy and the creative in your ads, it's kind of like table stakes now, and it's become a bit expected and commonplace for consumers, actually. If you're including a first name in an email subject line as your level of kind of personalization right now in digital marketing, you're probably officially fallen behind. And you'll likely be prompting people to hit that spam button when they see that very markety, salesy first name appear right away in the subject line from a business. Now, boom, enter AI. And now testing those 100 different variations and creatives is no longer a grueling task that needs to be done by a sales intern or a human that can't bother to or couldn't imagine having to read another bit of ad copy. A human can only compare so many images and sentences at once. Forget about 100 different A/B variations. With AI processing power, we can test, and you can test virtually endless number of variants and A/B testing variations of almost every single word or detail on the page. Not only that, it can be running around the clock 24/7, and the AI is going to continually learn and improve on which type of customers convert on which type of content, and it's only going to serve that content more and more often. Now, that in itself is pretty amazing. And there are a suite of tools out there that can give you that power of this data wizard that is AI. The most popular one on the market probably right now, according to a Gartner report on personalization engines anyway, is called Dynamic Yield. Check out the link in the notes. It's a super impressive tool that empowers you to activate customer experiences across whether it's your website or your mobile app or a kiosk platform or an Internet of Things connected device or something like that, you name it. And based on just about any data point that you can imagine, you can segment someone into an experience on that device. Um, but what about the next level of personalization, especially in the world of technological advancement that we live in now? How about a personalized human clone? Cue horror movie shriek and ominous music here. But don't worry, not that kind of clone, a digital one based on a video of you and other inputs. That's the product offered by, it's called Be Human, the tool that allows you to create a digital clone of yourself using a related tool, it appears called Persona, that's trained to sound and behave like you do. And then you can turn around and use that clone to create highly personalized videos or sales experiences, whether it's on the phone or in a chatbot or in a video sales deck or whatever it might be. And it's a medium that previously could really, video that is, you could previously really only record one to one, and it could only be recorded once, and you had to target either one person per video, or you had to be general enough in your video to target your entire audience. But with the Be Human tool, the clone, each time the video is viewed, the clone can address that user individually, and the video can tailor the content being shown to the individual customer. Like think that old first name in the subject line feeling, but this time in a standalone video that is recorded for the person. So back to accomplishing what that personalization was meant to do for the customer. And it definitely feels like, as far as the customer goes, it definitely feels like going a step beyond going a step beyond cranking out those thousands of marketing emails that we're receiving in our inboxes today. And if you're receiving a personal video, it definitely stands out. So check out the process for yourself. It looks like it's free to create your own clone. I tinkered around with the tool a little bit myself, and it looks pretty cool. You can also browse a ton of personas, they're called, on the Persona website. Check out both those links in the show notes. All right, that's it for today's episode. If you enjoyed the show or you find it useful in any way, please do me a favor and subscribe or follow on your platform of choice using the RSS feed or Spotify. A review on top of that would be even more appreciated and would be super helpful to the show. So until next time, thanks for joining me. And remember to stay curious, stay consistent, and keep navigating forward. Bye.